Syria is that portion of the Middle East border on the west by the Mediterranean, separated from the Anatolia plateaus by Taurus Mountain, Turkish now, and from the Mesopotamia by the Euphrates, and which extend southward into Arabian desert. This is positioned on the world map on the juncture of the three continents of the Europe, Asia, and Africa. It's based on the great incense and silk trade routes linking India and the Mediterranean by way of the Arabic Gulf and the Red Sea. You can see the road of silk and Syria. It is about 185,000 kilometers. And you see it from the North Turkish, Mediterranean from the west, and Jordan and Iraq from the west, from the east, and Palestine and Lebanon from the east-west of Syria. The winds through the narrow gorge of the image close to the village of Rabwa in Damascus floodplain before the following further 22 miles and finally emptying into Lake Otaiba to the east. In addition to the water from multitude of little springs and wadis running down to the mountainside, 13 miles from the city at the source in Al-Fija. You see also the river and the source Fija and small water temple near inside the source Al-Fija. Damascus. You see Damascus depending on the three items. Qasyum mountain and Al-Ghuta surrounded the Damascus three sides from the south and west and east, and Badr River. It is bordered to the west by the 1,150 meter high Qasyum mountain, where the city itself is about 700 meters above the sea level. It benefits from the influence of seven influence of Baghdad. The story of Damascus. Now we can, starting from the historic period during Kanani and Amori period. And in this time, the city wall is that period was built of the largest stone measuring
Dr. Mouaffak,
centimeter to 150 centimeter. Yes.
Dr. Mouaffak, we have problem with the audio. But do you can solve the problem with the audio?
Audio?
Yes.
Yes.
So we have.
So the voice is not. You cannot not hear the voice.
Yes, it's better than before.
Yes. Okay.
Right now, I mean. Thank you.
It's okay now? No?
Can you try just for test,
yes.
please?
The city during Kanani and Amori period.
We have still the problem.
No?
Maybe it's depend on the internet or something from that.
Maybe in the internet, but it is. It's okay from my laptop. It's okay. The voice and the screen and.
No problem. Maybe you can go ahead and.
Okay, we can go.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Now we going to the Aramean period, 1100 BC, 332 BC. The city was first the city now built on the in four hills in this part of the city. You can see the hills here, and we can see the wall from this side, and
Professor Mouaffak,
the oldest temple in Damascus had a temple.
Professor Mouaffak, can you hear me? Sorry for interrupting.
Yes, yes. I hear you, yes.
My apologies for interrupting, but the problem is that the audio signal is totally scrambled. And for us, it's relevant to listen to what you say, of course. I think it's not your computer or anything on your audio. It might be the connection. It might help to maybe just reconnect once again to the Zoom meeting as a proposal, because it would be a real pity if we cannot follow your words.
Okay. I try now to.
Shall we try this?
Okay, now I try. Good afternoon, our colleague. I am Mouaffak Doughman from Syria. Do you hear me now?
I hear you much better, at least.
Yes.
It is okay now? Now we talking only we talking about Damascus today, the oldest city in the world, and Syria. You know, everyone knows Syria. Syria, it is about 185,000 kilometers square from the West Mediterranean Sea and from the North, Turkish and Iraq and Jordan from the east and south, and Palestine also, and Lebanon from the west-south side. And Damascus, it is the position of it's very important. It is in the Silk Trade roads and linking India and the Mediterranean by the way of the Arabic Gulf and Red Sea. Also, the most important things in Damascus, the Barada River. The Barada winds through the narrow gorge and emerges close to the village Arabwa in Damascus floodplain before following further 22 miles and finally empty into Lake Otaiba in the east of Damascus. And in addition to the water from a multitude of the little springs and wadis running down in the mountainside 13 miles from the city, the source Ain al-Fija. You can see the source Ain al-Fija and the small temple of the water and the river and the mountain around Damascus. Damascus, depending on the three items, because the Qasyun mountain is about 1,150 meters, and Barada River, as we talking before, and Al-Ghouta is garden, big garden around surrounding the city from the three sides, from the east and west and south. until now give the city the life. Talking about history, the city built in the Kenani and Amori period, and in this time, and in this time, the city wall in that period was built of large state stones and measuring between 80-60 centimeter to 160 centimeter, 2 meter 6, and from 5 to 6 meter high. When talking about Aramean period, 1100 BC, 732 BC, the city was first conceived as an urban center on a hill at the heart of the ancient city. You can see Damascus contained 4 hills. The first one built the Hadad temple, returned to the Aramean period. And we can see also some part of the Aramean wall from the east side and the west side. And in this time, the city is very small, and no the excavation in this time is very little to know about this period. The classic period, it is 2 parts, Greek period and the Roman period. But the Roman period is very important because the period started from 64 BC, and the city was part of the Disopolis, where the Roman inhabitants the 4th Damascus hill, and built a great wall around the city. In terms of the urbanization, Damascus embedded a Greek-Roman rectangular shape. It's about 1,550 to 850 meters. All along Parada River from the on the north bank, the wall and the gate surrounded the architecture components, the street, the State Street, and the temple, Jupiter Temple, the building that have general vocation, and the residential area. It was during this period that the wall started to take the shape of the city. You can see now the Roman or classic period to the city. It is, you can see the wall, and we can see the Jupiter Temple, and we can see the Agora and the Citadel and the theater. And the eastern part on you can see also the urban design, and in the west and west another design is returned to the Aramean period. Also, you can see Jupiter Temple. Jupiter Temple. Until now, we have only the wall around this temple, and it is part the Gamma, that means the souk, around it. Around the temple. It is about 300 dimension from the width and length, about 3,500. And the temple, it is about the Jupiter temple, it is about 158 to 98 meter. In the middle of this temple, we have the cella, and you see also the main gate from the east, and the small temple for the water, and we can see also the bridge in the 4 corner of this temple. Until now, we can see the wall of the temple and some part of the main entrance from the east side and the west side. The Gamma is demolishing through Byzantine time, and rebuilt another building in this area. The Byzantine period, the years of 395 AD, came and the urban future were added to the city, but the construction of some charges, and as a result of the city, dissidence on the military, financial, and demographic level due the multitude of factors. The transformation that were introduced to Damascus rampart, and it is combatants only considered some architectural aspect that entered to the constitution of the gates and based some charges in the block of the wall itself. Also in this period, we can see the temple of Jupiter pushing the cella inside the courtyard, and they built the Christian Basilica in the west south side, and also some axes, Byzantine axes from the east and from the north and from the south and from the west to make access into the Christian Basilica, John Baptist Yahya, and we call it Yahya in Damascus. Also, we can see the oldest houses on Saint Hanania in Bab Sharqi. Also, this small charge. The Umayyad period in the year 41 Hijra and 61 AD, Muawiyah wanted to establish the capital city of the Umayyad Khalifa. So they made of Damascus capital of a state. As a matter of fact, one of the main building built in this period, the Umayyad Mosque. Umayyad Mosque was built after the opened Damascus after 70 years, and they using the wall of the Jupiter temple. And as we know, it is go with the design of the Sayyidina Muhammad in Al-Madinah. It is consists of Al-Haram and courtyard and Riwaq, and in the middle of the Haram we have the main dome, and we have three minaret from of Qaitai in the west south, and Isa from the east south, and the oldest minaret in Umayyad Mosque, Minaret Al-Arus or Al-Arus minaret. The dimension of the Umayyad Mosque is the same dimension of the Jupiter temple, and we can see also the Al-Nasr dome, and you can see some photos explain the many sites on the inside the Umayyad Mosque. And we have also see the three minaret, one of them Al-Arus in the north, and Qaitai in the west, and Isa in the east side. After Umayyad Mosque was built in Damascus, also many infrastructure happened to the old city, and some palaces as Al-Khadra palaces near the Umayyad Mosque. In Abbasian period, we can see some changing to the city, especially in the Seljuk and Ayyub period. Seljuk, we mean, and when we talking about Seljuk period, we talking about Nur ad-Din, 1154 AD. Nur ad-Din coming from Aleppo to Damascus, and he changed the image of Damascus by built the citadel, and by built some bridge around the city and the walls, and he built a new function in the city, like Bimaristan Nouri, the first hospital in Damascus, and they changing the way of teaching in Damascus. In the last period in Umayyad Mosque, the Umayyad Mosque is using as a school, and for administration empire, Umayyad Empire. While in this period, Nuruddin Zenki or Seljuk period, we can see a new function, that the al-madrasa, which teaching al-hadith and al-Quran al-Kareem, and it is divided to 4 Iwan in every side, and we can see also the dome of Nuruddin here, and we enter a new shape of the domes in this period, which came from Middle Asia. Also, in the Ayyub period, when talking about Ayyub period, we're talking about the 12th century, Salah ad-Din coming from Cairo to Damascus, and he starting to build the citadel, the main 4 hectares, and it is which the position of this citadel in the west north of the city, and we can see here the plan of the citadel with the bridge, and we can see the courtyard and the east elevation. It is the people enter to the citadel from the inside the city to the courtyard from this gate. So we have a special style in this period. We can see these domes, the minaret and the tombs, and many ornaments. The main important architecture in this period, that the military architecture. Now, after this Mamluk Ayyub period, we're talking about Mamluk period in 1026 to 260. Damascus became of the most important Mamluk wilaya on this period under the Sultan Bibars. Sultan Bibars built a lot of building like Al-Madrasa al-Zahiriya, School of Zahir Bibars, and Hammam, path of Hammam Bibars, and also they going to strengthen the infrastructure in the old city, and especially the economic and the politic. And now in this period, you can see the trade and the souk is much more than Ayyub period. In this period, it's going with more details and using the ablaq, that mean the stone, color stone using in the elevation. So they built a lot of bath in this period. In the Ottoman period, it is starting in the beginning of 16th century, and they in this period you saw the Ottoman coming from the north, and they starting to make the Damascus is the capital of the Bilad Sham, and they built a lot of building in this city, like Atkiya Sulaymaniya and Al-Madrasa Sulaymaniya 1566, and many palaces and mosques and madrasa and khanat. It's about imagine it's we have about more than 150 Khan in Damascus in this period. The most important one is Khan Asad Basha al-Adm, which built in the 18th century. The end of Ottoman Empire and binge of Westernization. That means in the end of Ottoman period, the last 60 years of Ottoman rules are known as a Tanzimat period. It was time of administrative reform and modernization and a new emphasis on the city planning and developing improved due the part from the European trade. During this 50 years, 1860 to 1910, the city was transformed as a rate not experienced since Nuruddin. Is it not changing? The big changing is in this time. The new urbanism that developed during the Tanzimat was based on 6 principles set. New law and the project of developing of the old city within the wall, and the project of providing water and infrastructure, and the project of transport, the project of electricity and telegraph, project of developing the building. Construction will be based on the effects of this projection, which are still considered with the teachers of the city of Damascus. This, we can see a lot of building built in this effect with European architects, and we can see some building here in these photos. Al-Hijaz station and the Al-Abid building near the telegraph columns, and the university. All this building built by the Fernando de Aranda between 1910 to 1930. You can see the changing the image of the city in this period. After that, Damascus now under French period, and they using a new master plan and Ikoshar coming to Damascus, and you can see also Ikoshar and the Tinkis building, Jami' Tinkis building in the Shara al-Nasr near the old city of Damascus. After when many engineering and architect going to the Beirut school and learning a new methodology and thinking to in design is Abdel Razak Malas, who building the Parliament in 1928, and Qasr Al-Adl in 1952, and the building of Al-Fija in 1931. We can see also another style of building with Khalil Al-Farra from the beginning of 1950. He built also the national banks in Damascus, and civil engineering in the University of Damascus. Also, see the changing the style in this period. Damascus in 1936, you can see this this plan. The black one is the traditional or historic area. It is about inside the wall, about 135 hectares, and outside the wall is about 400 hectares. Until now, we not have more than 25% from this historic area, and we can see the city is in many directions, and a new square, a new roads, and many new function in this city, especially the parliament, as we see, and hospitals and universities and marketing and some new housing in this part. Damascus When we talking about Damascus, we can see the main changing is it's very clear between 1930 to 1968. When we talking about Damascus, you can see a lot of culture structure of Damascus city. We can see the Kurds as people living in the mountain, and Sharkas and Arman and the Palestinian and Moroccan and Turkish. When we see this plan, you can see how these people living in Damascus. You can see in the top of the mountain we have see the Kurd, and in near Damascus we can see also some districts which living by the people which going to extend the area to make a new houses in many different time. Outside the wall, we have see also الصالحية and سويقة باب سويقة ساروجة والميدان وقصر الحجاج and quarter القنوات. All this district is returned to the from the Ayyub period to Mamluk to Ottoman, and we can see here some of it is very important area. And they have the same character of the old city of Damascus. They have important buildings like mosque and khans and schools and this Hay al-Uqayba, and from the north side of Damascus. Here is also Midan. You see Al Midan, and you see Qasr al-Hajjaj near in the south side of Damascus. You can see also the traditional building in this area. Impact of master plan on the urban heritage in Damascus. The first master plan of Damascus was established in 1937 by French architecture Ecochar and Danger. They adopted city planning of the beginning of the 20th century. Main road network conducting a different geometrical shape, square and sub-road network. This style was applied in the past to the French cities and known by the Beautiful City movement. This planning style was reaction of the now Serpentine street and allies existed in the that period. The Mountain French architecture applied this planning style not only to Damascus but also to several other Syrian cities like Aleppo and Homs and Hama, also in the other country like Casablanca and Algeria and another cities. You can see the development plan on Damascus, and we can see the first master plan. In this time, no changing in the city on side the wall. Only they open a lot of road around the city, like Shara Baghdad and to الصالحية and the شارع بيروت. Some of طبعا district built in a new law returned to the French law in this time. You can see also here the Damascus in 1930 to Damascus to 1980. Changing of the master plan, and a lot of changing, especially the open area around the city is filled by buildings. When talking about the master plan in Damascus, master plan in 1963 started and finished in 1968. by Ikoshar and Banshoya, it's considered transport as a very important element that should enter to the old city to serve the commercial area and warehouse, and open the area around the main building like Umayyad Mosque and Citadel. So in this time, many things happened. They destroyed Souq al-Khuja near the west side of the Citadel, and Souq al-Qabaqbiya in the south side of Umayyad Mosque. طبعا in this time the government in Syria stopped this master plan inside the city and stopped the ring road around the city, and going to establish another طبعا master plan protect the city until the city registered under the list of UNESCO in 1979. A lot of criteria going pushed the UNESCO to make the Damascus with Tunis and Cairo in this time under the list. Damascus, as we know before, and as I talking before about the historic layers and Umayyad Mosque and marketing and the society and the special ornament and material which built as an environment city. When we talking about the city inside the wall, here when I put the master plan of the old city, we documentation all the facilities in inside the wall, and we can see the land use of the Damascus city inside the wall. In red colors, we can see the commercial part, and then orange we have dwelling or houses, and then in other color we have also regions buildings, Christian and Muslim and Jewish. You can see Damascus is divided to three parts: Muslim in the west and north, and Christian in the east, the north, and Jewish to the east to the south. The area is about 135 hectare, 7 gates, 4 gates from the north, and 2 gates from the south, and 1 gate from the east, and 1 gate from the west. We have also, until now, we see the state in this city, and now the city have many problems, especially the infrastructures and the weakness of the structure of the building houses, because as you know, Damascus built by clay and wood, and it need maintenance every year. So now they have a lot of problems, especially in the north side of the city. Also, we have a problem in transportations. We have a problem in the tourism system. You have also more than 120 restaurants in the old city. Before I bought the master plan, anyone he can use this as hotels or motels or restaurant. Now, when we bought this a new master plan, it needs to some يعني I mean the building near the main street, not inside the district. It is square. It's more than 100 to 1,000 meter, and it is have the courtyard. No, not effect to the people inside the district. Many things happen in this new master plan. When Damascus city registered in 1979, no buffer zone put it in this time. So a lot of part around the city demolishing and new building built because no rules. In 2009, with the administration of museum and antiquities, put the buffer zone around Damascus city under the list, and stopped all the projects around the city, especially the ring road, and register in this time also all the historic around the city, like Saruja and Al-Uqayba, Al-Amara, and Al-Shaghur, and Al-Qanawat, and Al-Midan, and also Al-Salihiyya. After that, now when we talking about Damascus city inside and outside the wall, we can see the main effects of the city. The main effect of the city is the environment. The environment, which using the courtyard and the traditional materials, and no big effects on transportation in the past. And the people, the social life in this city, and in that case, we to protect the city, we need to thinking about all these reasons to make from Damascus the oldest city in the world, again the best is in the world. Thank you very much, and I am very sorry for the Wi-Fi here in our district in Damascus, but I hope to give you some information about my city, and when we're talking in deeper than that, every item in this lecture which need many times to explain it. Thank you again, and I hope to see you later.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mouaffak, for your lecture. It was very interesting. Maybe some students or Mr. Carsten or Ziwa have some questions.
Thank you for your great lecture, Dr. Mouaffak, and it was super interesting. For that reason, I think it's a great startup for us. To start from this point of the research, for all of the students. So please, if someone of you have question, because based on the research and based of the next task of what we will have, please start to ask. Dr. Mouaffak, because now he's available with us.
Okay. Yes, please.
Well, as long as the discussion is not starting, thank you also from my side, Professor Mouaffak, for your very good lecture, giving us an insight into the history of the city of Damascus. I can also just encourage our students to ask any question they have concerning also the coming steps. I would be interested also in, let's say, which areas of the city were mostly affected by the war, which areas of the city faced the most destruction, and what is, let's say, the architecture or the structures built in these areas, as one normally sees a lot of more modern buildings that are destroyed, that are built from hollow blocks and concrete skeleton structures. Are these specific suburbs? Maybe you can add something on that. Thank you.
As when in the beginning of the last century, when and maybe before after the big fire and I think it's if you know Sidi Amoud, and inside the wall, it is demolishing in the French period. That the first time using the concrete and the new law in a huge number of buildings inside the city, and because the law in the French period stopped the using traditional material inside and outside the city, they pushed the people to using concrete and the stone in this time. And as I tell you, in 1930 they starting the first master plan, the first master plan. That mean put under the law. The law in this time using the concrete and the stone, and we have a big problem in this time. All the worker, especially specialized in ornaments and clay and wood. Changing their work to another work like trade or marketing or many things. That we have a lot of problem in Damascus city. That mean the specification of restoration or rebuild in this time is very bad. And the effects of this new materials, effects about the city. They changing the environment inside the city. They changing the image of the city, and they also affect about the traditional district and all in this area, which rebuilt in a new law or under the new master plan.
All right, thank you very much. And concerning the destruction by the war, there for sure are certain districts within the city that are more affected than others. Could you tell us some more about this? Which parts are more effective, and what is the character of these districts or suburbs?
Damascus, not like Aleppo. Aleppo is they destroyed through the war through the war. It's about 8 years ago. But Damascus only the main effects of Damascus I think it is five numbers. The first one, the changing of society inside the people, because everyone in many of people living in Damascus going in outside the city or outside the country. The first and in same time, many houses are changing as a restaurant without any specification, without any consider to the people who's living in this on this city. The other thing is the infrastructure. The infrastructure is very bad. More than 10 years, no maintenance to the infrastructure. That means many houses, especially which built by clay and wood, and it is that means its effect. And also we can see some problem by some bombing coming from Ghouta to the old city of Damascus, demolishing some houses or some public building. So also the Umayyad Mosque, it is destroyed the mosaic part in the courtyard or in the western side of the mosque. That means that affects now the government going to solve this problem in the old city of Damascus.
All right, thank you very much. I'll leave the floor for our students to ask more questions.
Yes, welcome.
Could you probably share some more information on local materials?
Please, the voice, please. Can you repeat, please? Because I not hear the question.
Could you share more information about local materials?
Local material. Yes. I maybe in the future I preparing a special lecture for the traditional material. But anyway, because we have wood around Damascus, we have the wood, and because we have a big area, we have the soil around it. We have the soil. So the main important traditional material is the wood and the soil. So most of houses in this city, the old city, and the historic city, inside and outside the wall, built by these two materials. When we talking about public building, that means we have a strong material like stones and with many style type of structure like domes and thick walls, and so the material now it is using clay and wood for dwelling and houses, and using stone, geostone and basalt stone to the public building.
Thank you.
And one question, what is needed most in Syria right now or in Damascus? Is it more like public spaces, or is it more like living areas? Because you said Damascus is not as badly damaged as Aleppo. So that leaves the question, is it more like our work, is it more sustainable if we put something for the community, for the society, like communal areas or shops, or what is needed most right now in Damascus?
Now, when we're talking about Damascus, we need to divide it into two parts. One is the historic part and the new part. When talking about historic part in the old city, inside the wall and outside the wall, have a lot of things. We have marketing, and we have museums, and we have schools, and we have also mosque and the church and many things. So it is very nice to stay as a original function, and the people like this types of life in the old city. For that we can see in the end week, we can see all the Damascene people, the original or not original, going to the old city of Damascus, because they have a special image, and they thinking about the historic, and they have the peace, and they go to pray, to shopping, many things. So I think in the old city only need to strengthen the infrastructure restoration in the good way, under the UNESCO or ICROM or ICOMOS, and develop the hand workers and craftsmen. And but while in the new parts, we can divide it to two parts. One under the master plan, and the other built without any law. So now the government going to solve this problem, but it is solved as a new city, as like Gulf cities. So all the architects and universities not like this solution, because they need to study the city, and take from the historic some things to build this new city depending on these issues.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the information.
Hello, I have a question. You were talking about in a certain period, workers have changed their work from labor to trade-related business. Can you please elaborate more on this point? What are the reasons they did this, and in which area specifically?
Because this voice is. Please, can you make the voice more? Because, please, in short, question, please.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Because I not hear exactly the question. Only, can you brief the question, please?
You were talking earlier about workers changing their work from labor to trade-related business. Like they didn't have work, or like you were talking in specific period about workers changing their work from labor to trade-related work.
Do you mean we're talking about the old city of Damascus? About
Yes, exactly.
You know, I work in the old city of Damascus more than 25 years, and I documentation most of public and a lot of dwelling houses in this city. Now, the main problem here in Damascus, the old city of Damascus, the thinking of how we can deal with the old city, because we have Ministry of Tourism and Culture and government and universities and local society and maybe international like UNESCO and ICOMOS. So until and now Syria, have a big problem. So now we need to put a new plan to this city, especially developing the traditional material. Anyway, we can put a wonderful planning for the old city and a wonderful law for the old city, but we not have craftsmen. We not have local material. Now anyone living in the old city needs some wood or clay or unit of clay, they not can take it, because no one dealing with this traditional material. So that means we push them to using a new materials to restoration, how to rebuild this building. Now, we, as the architect, specialized in architect and the old city, and to solve this problem, I think we need to study the traditional material and developing the way to use it in new specification, return to the traditional way, and to solve the problem to the people living in Damascus. Now that the main problem, before 2 days, 3 days, I have meeting with the director of the old city of Damascus. The main problem now, the traditional material in the city. How we can do the detail, how we can break this material. When we, as a specialized, going to solve this point, I think the other can solve the other points, the tourism and the infrastructure, but I think we need to zooming about important problem in the old city of Damascus.
Okay, thank you for the answer. Very helpful.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mouaffak. Like, is there anyone like have any question like before to close this session?
Yes, Ziwa.
Thank you very much for your lecture, and like we will hope like the next phase we will have also like you, like regard to the material and regard to all Damascus city and regard to the sustainable development. That would be interesting for us, and it would be a pleasure to join us.
Okay, Ziwa, thank you. Thank you for you also.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.